Hey guys, it's BullV204 here back again. Start that over. Hey guys, it's BullV204 here back again with another deck profile. A quick announcement, you guys. I hadn't done any deck profiles for a couple of weeks now. All because my laptop wasn't turning on wasn't starting on properly. So I'm going to try to get my laptop fixed as soon as possible. So yeah. Anyways, let's get this deck profile video started. And you guys like this video so far, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. That being said, let's get straight into it. So first off we're gonna do is the vampires. I'm running one copy of Vampire Scourge. Now Vampire Scourge is this card is special summoned or normal summon. I have to pay 1,000 life points and then I get to target one vampire monster from my graveyard except Vampire Scourge. So this card right here is I can special summon, but it cannot attack this turn. But it cannot attack this turn. So anyways, I'm running 3 copies of Vampire Ghost. Now Vampire Ghost can help me special summon more vampire monsters. If this card is in my graveyard, if this card is normal summon, I get to send another vampire card from my hand or to my field, to my graveyard, add a level 4 higher monster to my hand. And I'm running 3 copies of Vampire Familiar. I have 2 commons and 1 super rare of it. So it's a good thing that I didn't use this deck throughout my tournaments here. If I use this deck here, I will continue losing every single time with this deck. So anyways, let's move on. I'm running 1 copy of Vampire Fallen. Now, Vampire Fallen helps me special summon if a monster attacks me or not. So hopefully by next week I'll start using this deck here just to see what kind of strengths or weaknesses does this deck has. And I'm running 1 copy of Shadow Vampire. Now, this card cannot be used as an Exceed summon. That's totally fine. Cannot be used for an Exceed summon. That's totally fine. So, yeah. And running 3 copies of Vampire Retainer. Now, Vampire Retainer is this card special summon. I can pay 500 life points, and then I can add a Vampire spell or trap from my deck to my hand. If this card is in my graveyard, I can send another vampire monster from my hand or face up on the field. I can special summon on the field, but banish it when it leaves the field. And I'm running 1 copy of Vampire Vamp. Vampire Vamp is kind of like the bread and butter of this deck here. It says once per turn, when this card or a vampire monster normal summon to your field, I get to target 1 face-up monster that he controls to attack is higher than this card. Equip it to this card. This card gains equal to the combine of the original attack monster of the equipped to it. If this card sent to the graveyard while equipped with this effect, I can special summon to this card. So this is perfect for building up my defenses. And I'm running 1 copy of Vampire Grace. Now Vampire Grace is like when a level 5 or higher zombie monster is special summoned from my side of the field by the effect of a zombie type monster while this card is in my graveyard, I gotta pay 2,000 life points. Ouch. Special summon this card from my graveyard. I can only use this effect once per turn. Once per turn, I can declare 1 card type either as a monster, spell, or trap. And then I had to get my opponent to send that type of card from the deck to the graveyard. So it's perfect for against trap tricks or tier elements. And I'm running 1 copy of Vampire Void. Now, Vampire Void is like one of the strongest vampires that I've ever played. So I know hopefully by now I'll try to get this deck complete. Ever since I completed my Mayakashi deck profile, I've been thinking about building other decks like Magnet Warriors, Exo Sisters. What else? I gotta finish building my Lair. I almost finished building my Lair, my Fang Creator's Lair Darkness deck. So hopefully I'll try to get a future deck profile video of that as well. So anyways, guys, that's it for the generic vampires. Let's get into the generic zombie support. So for the zombie support, we're running 3 copies of one of my favorite zombie monsters of all time. As you already know, it's Unizombie. Unizombie helps me modify my levels by sending one monster from my hand or it's from my deck to my graveyard, whether it's a Glow Up Bloom or Necro Banshee or any other zombie monsters that I can send. And I'm running 1 copy of Glow Up Bloom. Now, Glow Up Bloom helps me add a level 5 or higher, add me some high-powered, high-level monsters from my deck to my hand once it gets banished. And I'm running 2 copies of Mizuki. Now, Mizuki helps me bring back some of my zombies back from the graveyard back onto the field. So, yeah. And I'm running 1 copy of Gozuki. Now, Gozuki helps me send zombies from my deck to my graveyard. You know, zombie decks are very known for filling their graveyards very quickly. So the Shiranuis and the Mayakashis are perfect examples of it. And running 1 copy of Necro Banshee. Now, Necro Banshee helps me bring out Zombie World onto the field. Zombie World is one of my favorite decks of all time. So hopefully I can build a Zombie World deck as well, or pure zombies as well, because I like building zombie decks. So yeah. And I'm running 1 copy of Doom King Baladrock. Now Doom King Baladrock helps me helps one of my favorite monsters of all time. I've been using them for quite a while now for all my zombie decks. So hopefully by now I will try to get any zombie decks as much get any zombie deck complete as much as I can, just like I did with my Mayakashi deck. So anyways, guys, that's it. That's it for the monsters, guys. Let's move on to the spells. So for the spells, I'm running 1 copy of Call by the Grave. Now Call by the Grave helps me guard against any hand traps like Ash Blossom, Ghost Bell, Ghost Ogre, you name it. And I'm running 3 copies of Zombie World. Zombie World is one. Wait. First off, let's do the 1-ups first. I'm running 1 copy of Monster Reborn. Now, Monster Reborn helps me bring back all my zombies back onto the field. And I'm running 1 copy of Foolish Burial. Now, Foolish Burial is limited at 1 as always. So hopefully by next week I'll try to take this deck out for a test spin to see how this deck performs. And I'm running 2 copies of Vampire Domain. Now Vampire Domain helps me bring out extra monsters out by paying 500 life points and so yeah. And I'm running 3 copies of one of my favorite field spells of all time, Zombie World. Now, Zombie World turns all the monsters on the field into zombies. Hold on, let me fix this. Yeah, Zombie World is one of my favorite field spells of all time. It turns all monsters on the field into zombies. If you're going against a Domain Monarch deck, this right here is perfect for blocking off all your opponent's tribute summons. And I'm running one copy of Vampire's Desire. Vampire Desire is I can activate one of these effects. I get to target 1 face-up monster that I control, send a vampire monster from my deck to my graveyard with a different level of that level. And if I do, the target monster becomes the level of that sent monster in the graveyard until the end of the turn. And the second effect is target 1 vampire monster in my graveyard, send 1 monster that I control to my graveyard, and if I do, I get to special summon that targeted monster. So it's perfect for bringing out more monsters onto the field. And I'm running 3 copies of Super Polymerization. Super Polymerization is perfect for using any materials on either side of the field, whether it's dark or zombies, you name them. All right, you guys, that's it. That's it for the spell, guys. Let's move into the traps. And I am using the IP Masquerena sleeves. in case you guys are wondering, for the vampire deck. Anyways, that's it for the spells. Let's move on to the traps. So for the traps, I'm running 2 copies of, just a few traps. I'm running 2 copies of Vampire Domain. Now, Vampire Domain negates all effects. If I have a zombie, if I have a, no, not a zombie, if I have a vampire monster that I can negate it and gain life points based on his attack points. So it's it's perfect. And I'm running 3 copies of Rivalry of Warlords. Now, Rivalry of Warlords helps me with the zombie lock. I love the zombie lock because I can lock my opponent into zombies as much as I can until further notice. Oh yeah, I got one of them in my common bulk right now. I got 2. I got one common. I have this is an ultra rare, and I have these 2 right here for the zombie lock. Anyways, you guys, that's it for the deck, you guys. Let's move on to the extra deck. And trust me when I say this, you guys. There's a few cards that are missing, like the zombie vampire, which I'm about to mention later on right now. So here goes. I'm running 1 copy of Vampire Sheridan. Now, Vampire Sheridan, if you use a monster with a level that is by the opponent for an exceed summon on this card, treat it as a level 6. Once per turn, I can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 card that my opponent controls. And I get to send to the graveyard once per turn. If a monster card is sent to the graveyard by opponent's card effect, or if a monster is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, I get to detach 1 of those materials and special summon 1 of the monsters to the field in defense position. So it's perfect. And I'm running 1 copy of Beatrice, Lady of Eternal. Now Beatrice is, I can also exceed summon this card by using one of my Burning Abysses. So I don't have a Burning Abyss yet, but I'm going to try to build one. I'm a deck builder, so in case you guys are wondering. And I'm running one copy of Borosaur Dragon. Now I'm missing Yuki-Onna, the Absolute Zero Mayakashi. Is it my Mayakashi deck? I'm gonna try to buy another copy of Yuki-Onna, the Absolute Zero Mayakashi, but I'm gonna put this in this deck here because vampires are very, very known for their perfect link summons. And running 1 copy of Avenger Savior. Avenger Savior helps me dive deeper into the deck. If I can just send a zombie monster with based on the level, it loses attack points times 200. So 200. So yeah. And running 1 copy of Vampire Fascinator. She's a Link 3 zombie monster. I'm missing Baron de Fleur. Now Baron de Fleur is one of the most highly priced cards that I've ever seen. I'm trying to think of low budget options with this deck here, so can't really complain. And now for the single monsters, I'm running 1 copy of Red Eye Zombie Necro Dragon. Now Red Eye Zombie Necro Dragon helps me bring back one of my monsters. If he destroys a zombie monster, I get to activate his effect, and then I can bring back one of my zombie monsters from either graveyard. So it's perfect. And I'm running 1 copy of Vampire Sucker. Now Vampire Sucker is one of my favorite cards of all time. I can bring back one of the zombie monsters back onto my opponent's field, and if I do, I get to draw 1 card. But I can only activate her effects once per turn. And I'm running 1 copy of Immortal Dragon. Now Immortal Dragon helps me do some level modifications for my synchro summons. I love synchro summons, and not to mention fusion summoning. Now my Fang Creator's Lair Darkness deck relies on fusion summoning and link summoning. So yeah. And I'm running 1 copy of Skeletal Felgrand. Now Skeletal Dragon Felgrand. If this card is special summon, I get to target one monster that my opponent controls or in their graveyard. Then I get to banish it. If monster is special summon from either graveyard while this monster is on the field, except during the damage step, I get to target one other face-up monster that on the field. I get to negate his effects until the end of the turn. I can only activate his effects once per turn. Now for the Super Poly targets. I'm running one copy of Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. Now, Starving Venom Fusion Dragon is one of my favorite monsters of all time. I have this in my Fang and Creators Lair of Darkness deck. I'm actually rebuilding the Lair of Darkness deck as we speak right now. So yeah, and I'm running one copy of Drago Necro Nether Soul Dragon. I'm trying to get that name right. Now Nether Soul Dragon helps me bring out a Dark Soul token. So hopefully I will try to complete this deck as much as I can to the best of my abilities. As soon as I get some work, I'll try to get to working on this deck here. But right now I'm almost finished building the Fang Creators Lair of Darkness deck. So please stay tuned for a future deck profile as well. So anyways, guys, that is it. That is it for this vampire. That is it for my 2023. My 2023 vampire deck. I hope y'all enjoyed it. So it's kind of like it's one of the hardest decks that I have ever used in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh. There are lots of great decks for me to build. So hopefully I'll try my best to build as many decks as much as I can in the best of my ability. So yeah. Anyways, guys, this is Boolvy to the floor here. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to turn on all your post notifications on for any new videos here. And don't forget to join my YouTube membership as well for early access to new and unreleased videos. And don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and Nintendo Online, Extra Live, and PSN. Until the next one, you guys, stay connected. Peace!